Hello everybody, Mr. Bill here. I'm speaking to you and singing and telling stories to you from the beautiful community garden, the Friendship Garden at Delaware Community School. And I'm going to be able to come to you on your computers. I'd love to visit you in your classrooms if school is closed. But I did want to share some songs and stories with you. I hope you're all doing well, safe and sound, and doing the best you can on your schoolwork, because that's real important. Let's start with a couple of songs, and I've got a story for you, and you can sing along if you remember the songs. The first one is All I Really Need Is a Song in My Heart, Food in My Belly, Love in My Family. All I really need is a song in my heart, food in my belly, love in my family. All I really need is a song in my heart, love in my family. And I need the rain to fall, and I need the sun to shine, to give life to the seeds we sow, to give the food we need to grow. All I really need is a song in my heart, love in my family. All I really need is a song in my heart, food in my belly, love in my family. All I really need is a song in my heart, love in my family. And I need some clean water for drinking, and I need some clean air for breathing, so that I can grow up strong, take my place where I belong. All I really need is a song in my heart, love in my family. All I really need is a song in my heart, food in my belly, love in my family. All I really need is a song in my heart, love in my family. Love in my family, gotta have it, gotta have it. Love in my family, gotta have it, gotta have it. Love in my family, gotta have it, gotta have it. Love in my family. Okay, that's great. Now we're going to do another song here, and I got to get my capo out. I don't remember where I put it here. Here it is. And this little light of mine, we're going to sing that song, and I hope you're letting the lights of your love and kindness shine wherever you go during these challenging days, okay? Please sing along with me. I know you all know this song. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Walking down the street, I'm gonna let it shine. Walking down the street, I'm gonna let it shine. Walking down the street, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Riding in my car, I'm gonna let it shine. Riding in my car, I'm gonna let it shine. Riding in my car, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Going to the store, I'm gonna let it shine. Going to the store, I'm gonna let it shine. Going to the store, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Playing in my neighborhood, I'm gonna let it shine. Playing in my neighborhood, I'm gonna let it shine. Playing in my neighborhood, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. For my friends and family, I'm gonna let it shine. For my friends and family, I'm gonna let it shine. For my friends and family, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Well, now I've got a story for you. Some of you might have heard this story before. It's about a magic flute. And of course, I've got my recorder here to introduce the story to you. And I hope you like it. A long, long time ago in the kingdom of Denmark, there was once a young prince who was very spoiled and grumpy and unhappy. He was always arguing with his father, the king, and his mother, the queen, and getting into fights with his brothers, the princes, and his sisters, the princesses. He lived in a palace with over 100 rooms. And in that palace, he had a room just for his games and toys. It was called the Prince's Game and Toy Room. And every day, he'd go there and he'd sit there playing with those toys, but he never laughed and he never smiled. Well, one beautiful spring day, just like today, he picked up a whole armload of those games and toys, went out to the palace front yard, and there he was playing with them, kind of grumbling, not laughing, not smiling, not having a good time, when all of a sudden he heard a sound he'd never heard before. And there, skipping along, playing a flute, was a poor little barefoot boy. He came to a white flower, he played the flute for the flower, and out jumped a little doll in a white dress. She bowed 3 times, spun around 3 times, and the little boy skipped a little bit further, came to an orange flower, played the flute for the flower, and out sprang a little dragon. And the dragon bowed 3 times and breathed smoke and fire 3 times and took off. And the little boy skipped a little bit further, played his flute for a little blue flower, and out jumped a little knight in shining blue armor. And he bowed 3 times, waved his sword 3 times, went off to chase the dragon. And the prince was looking at this and said, "Wow, that's the neatest thing I've ever seen. That flute's got magical powers. I love it, I want it, I'm gonna get it." So he picked up all his games and toys, tucked them under his arms, walked down to the gate of the palace, and he waited until the little boy came skipping by. And he said, little boy, come here, come here. I love your flute. Here, I will give you all these games and all these toys if you'll just give me that flute." Well, the flute player looked at him very kindly and said, "You don't have to give me anything for this flute. I would love to give it to you for free, but you have to promise me one thing. Promise you only play for the happiness of people and flowers." "That's easy," said the prince. "Anybody can do that." So he was given the flute. But you know, the first thing he did, he went off to a corner of the palace yard and started to play just for himself. Well, he didn't play but 3 notes when out of the end of that flute came 3 giant spiders. They bowed 3 times, spun webs around him, and the little prince got scared and fought his way out of the webs. But he thought, I saw good stuff come out of this flute. Let me try again. Well, this time he didn't play but 2 notes for himself. When out of the end of the flute came 2 huge yellow bees. They buzzed around his head twice. One stung him here, one stung him there. That little prince started to cry and holler and yell. He ran back to the gate of the palace, threw the flute at the foot of the little flute player who was waiting very patiently there and said, "This is no good. This flute's no good. It's a piece of junk. I don't want it." And the little flute player looked at him sadly and he said, "But I told you, you have to play for the happiness of others, for people and flowers." He picked up that flute, started skipping down the road playing that flute. And as he went by the fields, all the flowers started to dance on their stalks. And as he went under the trees, all the birds started to sing, and they followed that little boy until he disappeared out of sight. And that's the story of the magic flute, which reminds me of a song about a magic penny, which many of us have sung many times. It was written by a grandmother a long, long time ago in the 1960s. And she didn't write it just for children, she wrote it for everybody. So if you know the song, please join in. Love is something if you give it away, give it away, give it away. Love is something if you give it away, you end up having more. Love is something if you give it away, give it away, give it away. Love is something if you give it away, you end up having more. Now love is like a magic penny, hold it too tight, you won't have any. Lend it, spend it, you'll have so many, they'll roll all over the floor. Love is something if you give it away, give it away, give it away. Love is something if you give it away, you end up having more. Now money is handy, we like to use it. Love is better if you don't abuse it. It's a treasure, you'll never lose it if you don't lock up your door. Love is something if you give it away, give it away, give it away. Love is something if you give it away, you end up having more. Love is something if you give it away, give it away, give it away. Love is something if you give it away, you end up having more. You end up having more.